Hello, R J Dent here in my library, and again we're going to be looking at some works by Michael Moorcock, this time the Jerry Cornelius Chronicles. We'll start with the actual, if we have a book 1 of the Cornelius Chronicles, or volume 1, book 1 it says on the front there, The Final Programme and a Cure for Cancer. Now these are two novels by Michael Moorcock, and they feature the main character of Jerry Cornelius, hence the Cornelius Chronicles, and there's two novels about him. He's a sort of a cross between like a satirical spy, he's a maverick. Actually, if I read the blurb to give you an idea. Jerry Cornelius copulates, hallucinates, devastates, dies and comes back from the dead frequently. A modern myth character living in a fantasy world, a new messiah who doesn't let himself be ruled by inevitability. He's a superhero, ex-clergyman, ex-politician, physicist, spy, card-carrying satyr on a rampage through the welts and crevices of time, an antic, vibe, gun-toting womanizer of the highest order. Okay, so they're really good stories, and the Jerry Cornelius character is an amazing invention by Michael Moorcock. So that's The Final Programme and a Cure for Cancer, followed by volume 2, or book 2 as I'm sure it's called here, The English Assassin and the Condition of Muzak. And again this is novels 3 and 4 in here, and as I say, you know, Michael Moorcock wrote 4 novels primarily. He did write more later on, which we'll look at in a minute. So those are the 4 stories of Jerry Cornelius. Now I've got here The Condition of Muzak and a Cure for Cancer. I also had I had all of them actually, Final Programme and The English Assassin as well. Anyway, so there we have the those, and then what came next was this one, The Lives and Times of Jerry Cornelius. These are short stories about Jerry Cornelius, but they're in a sort of a very well arranged sequence. So it's almost like reading a novel, each sequence for each different adventure being different time and a different place with Jerry Cornelius in it. And then what Michael Moorcock did was he revised the collection, so there are some different stories in here. So these 2 books actually contain different stories. So this one, for example, contains some of the early stories. It's got the Peking Junction, for example. We can compare the contents pages here and see what the actual difference is. Okay, so it's got the Peking Junction, the Delhi Division, the tank trapeze, the nature of the catastrophe is missing from the new version. Swastika setups there, sunset perspective is in there, sea walls and Vortrekker. But then there's a whole new one, Dead Singers, the Longford Cup and the Entropy Circuit. Whereas this one's got the Spencer Inheritance, the Camus Connection, cheering for the Rockets and firing the Cathedral. So it's actually worth having both, because you get 2 different sets of short stories. It would be nice if Michael Moorcock would actually put all of them together so you could have the best of, but more of that in a minute. The next one, The Adventures of Una Person and Catherine Cornelius in the 20th Century. This is Jerry Cornelius' sister Catherine and her friend Una Person, and again it's a series of stories. They go off on an adventure, off on adventures throughout time. And then this, my favourite ones here. So we've got the Cornelius Quartet, which we've looked at already, The Final Programme, A Cure for Cancer, The English Assassin and the Condition of Muzak. So we have those, but then we have this rather nice collection here, The Adventures of Una Person and Catherine Cornelius, that we just looked at. Then a story called The Entropy Tango. Then Gold Diggers of 77. And then The Alchemist's Question. So we've actually got some really good. Now what would have been nice, of course, if we could have had the Jerry Cornelius stories in here, or if there was another volume just of Cornelius stories, that would be amazing. And then that would be, you know, Cornelius calendar, Cornelius quartet, and a Cornelius, I don't know, collection. That would be fantastic. I'd really like that. But having said that, I really enjoy reading these stories. They are amazing. They're as good as anything that Michael Moorcock has written, and he's written some pretty good stuff. These are at the top of the hierarchy, if you like. If there were, you know, The Dancers at the End of Time is a wonderful collection of stories and novels. The Elric of Melniboné collection is a fantastic collection, but this is slightly different, and I would say this is one of Michael Moorcock's best series of stories. If you get a chance, read it. It's the Cornelius Chronicles by Michael Moorcock.